And start recording for YouTube. Hello, welcome everyone. We're back. Got a canvas. Got some paints. Let's get this show on the road. Look at this. I am so not prepared. I didn't even lock down my painting here. Normally pull a small section out to secure it to the palette because I've had blue shoe at one point in time. Beating a little bit of phthalo blue into the brush. I am using a 16 by 20 canvas here. Brand new canvas. Brand spanking new, never been used. Working this paint from the top to somewhere around the middle, I don't know. But you notice here it's mixing with that liquid white I put on there. You knew I did that, right? Some of the liquid white, get the canvas wet and slick for our wet on wet style painting. And I'm just working this in a little bit, trying not to blend it too much. But because I've got these stretcher bars, just want to make sure I'm taking off any funky lines. I already not thrilled with the canvas for doing that. I'm using a new brand of canvas I've not used before. The weave is great, the tightness is great. I don't like those stretcher bars though. I can tell you already. Should you guys care. You just want to see a painting, I know it. You've had yellow shoe? I tell you, everyone does it once, right? It learns you quick. A little bit more blue right there. This was already turning into like an Easter eggshell blue. Knock some of this down a little bit, add some flavor. It is Tuesday. Just to let you guys know, hopefully your Tuesdays are going all right. You better start commenting there, like Ratchet. Tell me how things are going. Having a good week so far. Staying safe, wearing a mask, all that good stuff. Look at this, I'm going to clean the brush already. I've got a mineral spirits bucket there with a bunch of devil beating going on, and just like that we'll have a clean dry brush. Let's go ahead and make some clouds. Pulling a fan brush here into my titanium white. That's that thick firm paint they all know and love. Let me see here, maybe see this. Hello there on YouTube, we're back. We've got some glare. Let me shut off this light. I think that's a little better. I don't know. You guys tell me. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to make up a crazy mountain color here with a little bit of blue, maybe a little phthalo blue too. Equal parts, brown. Let's have a nice hunk of crimson. Let's just mix all those together. The blue and the crimson make a nice lavender. And then the brown brings it all down. Brings it down a notch. Could throw black into it. Really make it gray. This has got a little bit of blue in it, so we're going to give this a shot. Not sure if we've got any commenters out there. Feel free to say hello. Make at least confirm here that the stream is working. You never know what weird things start to happen on here. So we're just taking this. Let's go ahead and let's make a pointier. I want a tall vertical mountain today. Just bring it down. Something like that. pushing that paint into the fabric. Looks like I just lost half my cloud. Just keeping it dark though. And we'll scrape off the excess. I'll tell you what, I think we see it. I think we see another peak right there. What do you think? Oh, that's a crazy looking start. Well, thanks, no reason. Glad that's why I'm here, to talk to you, talk for you, talk around you, talk about you. Nicely though. Let's go ahead and do the next step with a super clean, super dry brush. I've got some big decisions to make here today. Hopefully you guys will help me make some of them. That's what I like here. Changing up the painting based on audience participation. Hopefully the stream wins out here. I had an issue saying I spammed or something, and hopefully that gets resolved. I like nothing better lately to come out here and stream for you guys on the distant socializing. Any mods on there? I love you. Most friendly mods, most responsive. And I tell you what, I've done like 60, 70 plus streams on here. Thousands and thousands of people. And only like half a bad apple in the bunch. But even the bad apples had some good ideas. Very family friendly here. We take things as it comes. Everyone here's been just, I don't know, like I said, best thing about the quarantine. Just gonna brush that out, make it a little soft. We got a big old mountain there, don't we? Hopefully, we'll do something here. We'll do something that looks nice. So I'm going to take this brush or knife, the palette knife, pushing this down very flat. Look at that, it's like a runway. Clean the old knife, and then we take the knife. This is the easiest part here. We just drag it right from the runway and we get a nice roll of paint. See, that was a big runway. That was a little bit bigger than I wanted to, but it was great to demonstrate. So I can just make it a little flatter, draw it out the runway, and just stop. Look at that. That's the roll of paint we're looking for. And today we're gonna try a little bit different technique here. Barely touch these little tiny strokes. Look at that. We're going to create just a hint of some snow. Maybe get that little bit on the top there. Bring it down a little bit. Short stroke today. Sometimes you can grab the knife and just all the way down. Other times you want to take your time. It makes a different effect. Grab a little bit of, I might need to get a lot of it of, let's make a nice shadow color. Nice, strong shadow color. A little bit of blue, the bright phthalo blue. And then just a couple of little tiny streaks of the dark. Make some interesting colors. That's what we're looking for today. Today's all about variation. So, we'll take a small amount of the shadow color. Come in here and just touch, bring this over, slightly different angle. That makes that whole little mountain, that whole peak there, pop, comes out. Then I come back to my highlight. Kind of covered it up, but I fixed it. Now we got this little peak right here. Let's go ahead and put in some highlights, doing kind of like another path, another row. There we go. It all depends on how much paint you have on the knife, what angle you come in, and how much pressure. And the goal is no pressure. Okay, so this time we're putting highlights in. Hey, thanks Dark Lightning, thanks for coming on in. Welcome back. I'm going to put in just the tiniest amount here of shadow here. Boy, I'm experimenting today. You guys having a good Tuesday? Look at this. We're going to pull this guy down. Not enough paint. This is interesting. I'm using a new canvas, and I'm discovering quirks and eccentricities with it. Gotta have more paint to get the break. That's good to know. Well, let's try to bring this shadow a little bit out. We need a little bit of a highlight to cover that back up. There's a little too much dead spot there. So sometimes I got to re-stretch my paint, pull down more so I can get a nice clean line. I'm pulling lots of little rolls of paint out there, so it's okay to resharpen it, get a new pathway going. There you go. Thanks, Bram. Oop, too daddy. Playing around with it. Might have my shadow a little bit too gray, but that's about all I got so far. And decided to come back here. I wanted to get a little bit more right there. Trying new things, Get a little bit different hue on the shadow now. I'm going to change things up a little bit, see what it looks like. Trying to pull a little bit. Yeah, these particular canvases I'm finding here, they're acting kind of weird. I'm not used to them at all. All right, we got another peak here. Ooh, very interesting. Just throwing some peaks up here. I'm just rambling on, waiting for some people to come in and say, hey, there we are. You owe me a lot of money, man. That's alright. This is, I took these new canvases, and this is just straight on with a decent amount of liquid white on it. No, I did not gesso it again. So this is just straight out of the box and into your heart. There we go. I kind of like that angle. Just keeping a running chat going here, just in case people start popping in. It's been pretty mellow. What, are people back to work? This is crazy. Whoop. I don't know what I got going on here. I don't know what I did. Yikes. Throwing in a little bit of darker stuff over here. Easing it down, color-wise, value-wise. Thanks, Outrageous. I like your username. There we go. Getting the feel for it. Sort of stopped here, and normally I bring it on out, let it come out. Doing a crazy early Bob style painting here where he gets a little bit looser with his technique. You know, he took over for that could be. He took over for Bill Alexander and, you know, was passed the torch, brush style. And Bob was a mentor with Bill Alexander for many years, and his style initially was quite loose. We're going to try to recreate that today. And let me go ahead and clean my brush. Monday was so hard on everyone. Yeah, you know, I've streamed every day of the week here, and it's so hard to tell when people are chilling out and interacting with people in real life or hanging out on Reddit. So no worries. My last stream was great. Last stream during the week, it was like no one showed up, and I had to restart the stream for time, and it exploded. So just gonna tap this paint. Look at this, I'm just tapping and actually growing the mountain a little bit, or what mountain I'm growing here. It creates that mist and fog. Makes it look like that mountain is 10 miles away, 50 miles away. I don't know distance. Looks far away. Boy, that's a lot bigger mountain than I initially wanted to do. That's alright, we trim off whatever we don't want. We'll do a mountainectomy. And I can just make more of it into mist. Look at that. A little bit back and forth. Sort of takes out the streaks. And makes everything super duper soft. There we go. Ted Boss. This is definitely a Bob Ross inspired painting. If you can guess the season and the episode, I'll send you something. I'll send you something cool, and hopefully I got the episode correct this time. This one was easy to remember. And two people who I said won something still did not contact me with their name and address. But some other guy who didn't win contacted me, so I gave the prize to him, but I still have prizes. I've got too much Bob Ross swag So you guess the episode and the season, I'll send you something funky. So what are we doing? I tell you what, just so someone doesn't complain about me copying or anything, I'm going to change it up. Look at this, change it up. Come in here with a little bit of that mountain background color and a little bit of titanium white. And I just find the color that works. Don't want it super dark. Let's just put a little footy hill back here. It's a little bit light. It's a little hard to see. But it's there. Alright, now I'm going to take a handy dandy 1-inch brush, and I need to work on this canvas, see what it can do, see what it can take, see if I can beat the heck out of it. Crush that footy hill into nothingness. See what kind of mist we can create. Something. Maybe pull up a couple little branches. Thanks, man. Or lady. Ex-wiggers. I don't know how to pronounce things. Little bit of a secondary foothill. Again, Bob didn't do this in his version. That's why I'm here to change things up. Change things up. I don't like it. Oh, I got some big old trees. I can just cover it right on up. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Alright. Now this is something I haven't done in quite a while. Let me clean the brush. Oh, I need a clean brush for this. Doing these foothills quite often. We use the blues and grays and all the darks to make the foothills. We put in, oh, I'm really beating the heck out of it, aren't I? Really getting the, I don't know, just that blue vibe to my foothills and get darker. You do with purple and stuff. And the background colors, the shadows that we put in before the highlights. Browns and dark greens. You guys are special. I am going to do something I very rarely do. Loading the brush full of straight sap green. Ooh, that's a lot of paint on the brush. And, bang. See how I bend it? Bend the bristles. And all of a sudden, we just made that mountain 6 more miles away. Boom. Just forcing this paint, bending it, and creating all this little grassy effect. And we can make the lay of the land too. Woo, it does take a lot of paint. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Just bend the bristles. The bristles are what makes the effect. I'm a lazy, lazy man. I don't want to paint 6,000 individual grass blades. Oh, gosh darn it. Now I gotta send you something? Anyone but you? My God. How the heck did you guess that? No, Tutu's daddy gets it. He's lame. He is another Bob Ross instructor. I call cheat. I call unfair on behalf of my viewers. You had an advantage. Look at this. I'm going to grab a little bit of the Prussian blue. A little bit of Prussian blue. As things get closer to us, they get stronger in value, darker. Plus, who doesn't like blue? You guessed way too early, my friend. Are you really hurting for the Bob Ross swag? Or you just wanted to be the winner? Look at this. We're just putting in some dark color, and for you, who said that? Who said that? I'm the big fat panda. Of course you can. What am I doing here? I'm not even looking. I'm just mashing the brush into the canvas. Someone can do that. Come on now. Anyone can do this. Now, I was thinking about doing this a version of this Bob Ross episode. Maybe I'll do it later. I don't know. Where Bob really just takes the brush and just starts smacking it to put the paint on. And I thought that would be a silly one to try to do tonight, but I picked this one instead because there's so many cool options to do. Well, thanks. Maybe I will have time. Someone giving me a gold. Your hard-earned monies. Couldn't ask for much more. Alright, I tell you what. Let's mix up a nice color with the stuff that we got left. Oh, let's take that blue. Maybe some of that mix that we made up. Of course, why not? It's all dark. And a good hunk of the green. And all this Van Dyke brown. Good thing I've got more paint. I'm always worried about putting out too much paint because I end up with way too much left over. But I always have more. So let's get an interesting color out here and let's see what we got. We are doing happy trees, and it's your choice, my friends. Do you want happy smiley trees or happy frowny trees? Up trees, down trees. Smiley, frowny. Oh, super happy ones? We can do that. I can already tell. It's the beginning of the week still, right? It's not even Wednesday, for goodness sakes. I'm not trying to be Bob Ming Yoon. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Just spreading the joy. Just spreading the joy. I am a certified Bob Ross instructor and learn these tips and tricks and techniques, and I teach classes all around the area I'm in. Happy trees. We're going to have small ones here at first. You may not be able to see these super well, but I'm just going to hit the corner of the brush against the canvas. The bristles bend, and look at that, it makes little smiles. And these are just background. I need to make them a little bit bigger. That way I can make little tiny smiles. There we go. That looks a little better in my mind. Ming Yoon. There we go. Thank you. I butcher the usernames all the time. Yours was actually a little bit easier for me. When I see like 16 letters and numbers, it's kind of hard to just throw it out there. Ming Yoon, that's a great one. Come on now. Yeah, you know that the trees are a little bit weird at first, you know? Now if you just want to make background trees, you can just mash it. Look at that. Once again, you can do that. Don't tell me you can't mash a brush and make a kind of a pointy line. I refuse to believe it. I'll tell you wrong all day long. But you take that, and you take one of those little things that you did there, give it a little bit of a stalk, and then just with the corner of the brush push in, and work your way down, kind of like in a zigzag. All that, we don't really care. It just makes a general shape, you know? Just a general shape. I'll tell you what, one more right there. We're basically making a little forest here. Ooh, and he's kind of skinny. He's had some issues. A little bit tough here. I'm just sort of don't want to stick my face into the canvas there. There we go. Whoop, lost it. Alright, so we just got a little bit of background trees. Maybe there's a little bit of a stuff underneath. All that foliage, all that weird stuff that grows under those trees. Sad. Just another oh. Well, I'm glad that you stayed up. You don't need to stay up for me. You can watch this after the fact if you like. I'm going to do something here. I tell you, today is the day. Today is the day of loose. When I'm teaching classes in this method here, sometimes my students get all like they're trying to draw. Okay, they're trying to draw like a hyper-realistic landscape. And what I'm here to tell you is, keep it loose. Look at this. Little bit of cad yellow, the liquid white, and I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow ochre and pull that into it. Sort of makes yellow color. But I still have a bunch of white in the brush. Okay, so what we're going to try to do here is I'm going to create a little bushy thing just by tapping, kind of like a clock face. 12, 11, 10, 1, 2, 3. And look at that, you barely touch and it creates the effect there for you. Now when I turn the brush sideways and push, bang, you just start to get all these little grassy things coming up. Some of them are yellow. Look at that, the harder you hit it, there's a little bit of white. Okay, it's you gotta just be free, and you just gotta bang it in there. Just gotta bang it in there. Look at that, I even covered some of the bush. So let's try that again. Liquid white. I'm gonna pull that right through my cad yellow ochre. This time I'm gonna grab a little bit of phthalo blue, and look at that. Phthalo blue and cad yellow make an awesome green. Maybe a little yellow ochre too. Let's gotta get it in the brush. So this time, let's make a little bush right there. A little bit of green, yellow ochre, just something out there, and then I start banging in there. Gotta make the noises. You know, like Bob said, you gotta talk to it. Make friends with it and just bang it in there. It's called, I don't know, I kind of came up with my own term there of smashy grass. You want to make like a meadow with all those little spikes and weeds and all that weird stuff. Mix up your colors and just mash it. Mash it. We're going to come back to our dark evergreens, and let's put in some bigger ones now. Well, Bob was more of a nature guy. Same with me. I kind of followed this method here. I cannot draw people. Okay, my animals look more like monsters. But this particular method for me works really well. And you know, there are classes that you can take with Bob Ross instructors who are certified in wildlife, and they can tell you, you know, they like the big portraits of cheetahs and penguins and polar bears and regular bears and tigers and oh my's. So yeah, there is a wildlife certification course. I'm more of the mountains and trees guy. And they actually They actually had a portrait course. I don't know how many years ago that was, but there was a portrait certification. But I've only heard about it. I don't know too much about it or why they discontinued it. So now they just have the landscape, the wildlife, and florals. And if you've seen the last couple of instructors down at the Bob Ross Art Workshop and Gallery, oh my gosh, Doug and Nick are just insane with the florals. I can't believe it. They look like pictures. I did one floral. I've done one floral in my lifetime, and in this method anyway, and very difficult. I find it very difficult. So I'm not sure. Late 90s for the portrait. Well, there you go. Just never my thing. I found the portrait a little bit too meticulous. Just me. Certainly admire the talent. My goodness gracious. Look at that. Just mashing this paint. Got to get all this dark in there. Oh, what do we got? Forgive me here, just trying to read the comments here. Thanks, SSG. Swooshy swooshy. How do you attend? Man, what the question of the day right there. How do you attend classes? If you go to bobross.com, watch this. I'm gonna grow a tree right in front of you. If you go to bobross.com and click the Take a Class button, you can punch in your state or country, and you can find contact information for other certified instructors in your area. And those should all be active CRIs. And you can find out which ones do florals and which ones are wildlife. Look at that, grew 2 trees. And you can get going on this, and you should. Don't tell me you can't. Don't tell me you won't. Well, you can tell me you won't, but don't tell me you can't. I just gave you some information that'll change your life, I swear. You take a class and you are going to be shocked and amazed what you can do. All right, we got to get something going here. We got to get something going here. Let's try some more Smashy grass. Okay, I'm going to go right into some liquid white, into my cad yellow. Let's pull some Indian yellow in there. Ooh, that is a lot of paint. Look at that. That is a lot of paint. And we're going to go ahead and, ooh, I need to tint this up a little bit. I want to see a little bit more of a color variation so that this one will pop out. Let's try, there we go. Tell you what, let me refix that. I got something going on. I got a lot of paint in my brush, but I didn't thin it enough. So I'm just going to come back here, thin it down. Let's grab some green, pull this in. Let's do another little bush right there. This one's not really sticking out color-wise, but you know what? Loose is the way, and I did it, I tried it, and we'll just practice and go with it. Okay, this time I'm going to grab a little bit of liquid white and just go straight into yellow ochre. A lot of paint in the brush. Maybe we got a fall thing going here, so everything's a little bit duller and yellower. There we go. Come back here. I can always grab my paint. Bolinican. How much time do I have left? Am I running low? Can't be running low already. 10 minutes left? I could finish in 10 minutes. It wouldn't be great, but I could finish. But if you want to throw me a little bit more time, Bram, I'll get you up next time. Look at that. Bang, 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 bang. Little bit of liquid white, that's all it takes. Come into a little bit of the cad yellow. Let's brighten things up again. I tell you what, I think what we need to do is we need to get some bright red. We need to get some nice orange going here. Yellow, red. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. And once you got to go red, it's very difficult to bring it back. So, just clean the brush real quick. Grab some liquid white. Make a new color. Grab a little bit of that phthalo blue. Mixtures of colors here. Bang it in there, get all sorts of effects. All right, so last big choice. Do we want a lake? You know, in this particular version of the Joy of Painting episode, Bob did well, things pretty much what I did here, but he made a lake. And I've never tried it like this, so I'm gonna dry my fingers because I got paint thinner all over them, and you guys tell me how turbulent you want the water. Look at this. Do you think we could put a lake in here? Do you see how easy it would be? How dare I stand where he stood? I actually did stand where he stood. Muncie, Indiana. I got a chance to visit the now defunct WIPB in Muncie, and I stood on the exact spot. There was an X, and I got to touch one of his paintings. I went right there on the side, and held one of his brushes, handled his palette. So it was great. About the same importance in my life as birthed my daughter, found a penny, stood where Bob Ross stood. If you get that reference, I would be surprised. Let us come right up here. Watch this. Boom. Touch. Pull it down. Touch. Pull it down. Now there is, look at that. Look at all that stuff we put in there, all the lights and darks, all turn into reflection. So we're going to try something here. We're going to try to make the water look a little deeper. So I just take a little bit of the dark color. Look at this. I'm going to have to grab some more out of the tube. I really used all that too. Not with it today, folks. Small amount of the phthalo blue. Small amount of the phthalo blue. Touch. Yep, put a little in at a time, just to make sure you don't do too much. There we go. All right. Now, as someone said, thwap the paint out of the brush, and now I can really start to diffuse it. Pulling down a little quicker, firmer, and then brush across. And that takes out the vertical lines, leaves everything soft and silky. Look at that. Not doing anything special. This is Bob Ross. Everyone can do this. Okay. What I can't do, apparently, is get the proper amount of color on my palette. So, small amount of Van Dyke Brown. Oh, thank you for whoever added more time. I got 17 minutes. We got cabin time if we want now. Oh my goodness. Small amount of Van Dyke Brown. And this time I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to scrub. You see, we've got a little bit of a cove back there. So we kind of force that just by bringing some in front. There we go. We're just putting in something here just to guide us through here. Some dark color, some earth or rocks or whatever we want it to be. The more you rub, the lighter it gets. And watch this. I'm going to take my fan brush and clean it. I wasn't sure where I was going with that sentence. That brush was way too dirty. Well, who am I kidding? Alright, let me see here. Blow and load. If you make a cabin, oh my gosh. We can do it. We can do it. I'm going to take a little bit of that highlight color. Where is my yellows? Did I use up all my bright yellow? I guess I did. We'll just come in with every other yellow color. A little bit here. Oh, get some green in there too. I'm going to come in here, and just like we did before at the corner of the brush, just going to mash in a little bit of grassy stuff under the bushes and over a little bit over the earth we got going on. And I think before we do too much more earth, we need to highlight a little bit of it. A little bit of the brown, a little bit of the titanium white, maybe a little bit of the bright red, a little bit of brown. There we go. Cut off a little roll of paint. Put a couple of little tinges on there. Just letting it graze over the canvas. Tell you what, I'm going to grab a little bit of dark sienna. Just is looking a little too red. Let me just graze a little bit of dark sienna. It sort of darkens it down a little bit. Okay. Now I'll come back with that little brush there. Bring down some little grassy things. Punch them in there. Creates the illusion of a little bit of the grass growing out of the rocks or earth or whatever you call it. Same concept, just sort of mash it, let the brush do the work for you. See that? You don't think you can do this? Well, at least just let the brush do it for you. Bob always said here, you can do anything. A little bit of practice, a little bit of help. Lots and lots of YouTube tutorials. Look at this, I'm just sort of scrubbing in a little white line. That gives a little separator between the land and the water. Pushing very firmly with the knife, that white just sort of squirts out one end. See that? Very small amount. That's more of just for an example. Far too much. We're talking like that, like a hair width. And you're scrubbing it, just kind of moves on out. There we go. What I like about the water lines is you can make them all jaggy and sort of blend it in, and it all works. I can just keep scrubbing this and it just looks like shallow water going right up to the land. Then if we imagine if you will, a little fishy. Adds a little splash right there. Maybe one right there. Just helps give the impression that this is a flat, still water. And look at that. That's basically the painting. I can take a suggestion here. How much time do I have? Let's see. 27 minutes? I got all the time in the world. Alright, well, we've done this version here where, well actually Bob put a little bit more in the corner here, but what do you think? Is it cabin time or no? You guys, I got a sip of water here. So I'm going to let you guys decide, should there be a cabin? Gosh, I really hope it is. Cabin time. I might have to do an experiment though. If I do a cabin, I might have to experiment. It's been a long time since I tried to do a gray cabin. Just sort of trying to actually slice through the canvas here, and it creates all these little sticks and twigs. I can even put some back there if we want. I can even take the knife, add a little stalk to these toppers, and it's also pretty rare, at least for me, to not highlight the trees. I like kind of keeping them dark like that. I don't know. Put a couple little lines back here. Interesting. Interesting stuffs. So, what do you guys say? Oh, it sounds like everyone likes the cabin. I like the cabin too. I think before I do the cabin, I need to add a little tiny one back there. Need to cover up some of these gaps we got going on here. I kind of may not be able to see it, but I kind of smeared this a little bit. So if I add a little bushy thing coming out here, I'm liking all this yellow ochre. It's interesting. There we go. Lots and lots of leaves. There's a lot more detail on there than you might be able to see from the vid. Oh, I know that other people like to flick up. Alright, cabin time, cabin time, cabin time. Soviet cabin. I have no idea what that is. But we're gonna well, you gotta say where do we want the cabin, on the right or the left? I think there's room. But should we even it out? Because it looks a little busy over here. Should I put the cabin on the left? Oh, I have no idea. I have done that before, Layuki. People have given me so much time. Oh, Lo Udrigj. I've done a second painting, and I'm prepared for it. So we got left, 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 left. Okay, I guess it's left. All right, what we got to do here is we got to get rid of the paint that's on here. So let us scrape. Just going to scrape away all this excess paint and make a general box with a roof. Ooh, that's almost barn-like. But we can do a cabinectomy and make it much, much smaller. So, like I said, we're just scraping off the excess paint. That allows us to kind of build the shape that we're looking for. Then we're going to come back with more of our Van Dyke brown. Look at all that paint I'm using for you guys. Van Dyke brown. Pull it out flat as a pancake, just like we did for the mountains. Clean my napkin. Get a new one. Ooh, that is not clean. Clean my knife. Cabin fever. You got that right. We get a nice roll of paint. And we're going to just pull. This is just like frosting a cake here. Just touch, pull in. Oh, gotta get that knife. If you don't have the right load of paint, it can act a little funky on you. You want to grab that and pull in a little bit of an eave on the side. There you go. Then we're going to cheat, and I'm just going to touch a line. See that? And then we come in here and we just sort of fill in the rest. Just slathering this stuff on. Fairly thick, but just really thick enough to make a relatively solid color. There you go, something like that. This is a strong old cabin. He's about ready to fall victim to erosion, I think. And let's see here. Got to fill in just the semblance of a roof. Right out here on the stretcher bar. It's a place I don't like to be. You got different resistances going on. So we got a solid cabin going. All right, I like that. I like the feedback. There we go. Nice solid thingy. All right, let's see what we got. I am running out of space. Look at all this space. I'm going to clean some of this stuff up. I need a little bit of room to work. And that right up by my elbow ain't doing it. So has anyone gone out there and looked to see if there's teachers in your area yet? You need to. A little bit. Dark sienna, a little bit of white. Trying to find that nice little color there. Maybe a little bit of yellow ochre, maybe a little bit of red. I don't know. Let's say just try that. I think there'll be some reflected lights on this cabin board, the cabin face. Let's go ahead and touch. Just pull down. There we go. And there we go. That's a start of the highlight there. We got all these various colors going on. Now watch this. This is the sneaky bit. I take a little bit of the Van Dyke brown and just mix it into that same highlight color just to get a slightly darker mix. Get off a little roll of paint and that makes a little bit of a shadowy side. Okay. Now a little bit. Oh, I can't do that yet. I gotta figure out the roof. Gotta figure out the roof. Don't think I have any black out here. So let's go with some of this dull color here. Let's mix it in there. There's blue and brown. A little bit of the phthalo blue. Let's get some more white up there. White. That's just about the color I was looking for. Look at that. A little bit of white and blue. Sort of those old dead slate tiles there. Those slate shingles. Just what I was looking for. Oh, not coming off. Tell you what, I'm just going to add a half a drop of paint thinner. Our golden rule is that a thin paint sticks to a thick paint. So if it didn't pop off right away, get a little thinner mix. There it goes. Can't mess with it too much though, because the paint thinner, if you keep tapping at it, it will turn everything to mud in a heartbeat. Get it out there, call it good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of pure liquid white. Have a little bit of the titanium white. There we go. Get a nice little roll of paint. Need a little bit of highlight right there. Gives it a little bit of a sun glint right on the edge of the eave. I did a red cabin roof the last time I did a cabin, so I think the blue gray works pretty well. There we go. I even think need a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Trying to get a little semblance of boards here. Just a couple of dark lines. There we go. That sort of helps create the illusion there. And now, cabinectomy. Best thing in the world. Chop, chop, chop. Let's go ahead and let's put in a window. Little highlight right around the door. And another baby highlight. Little highlight around the window. Might be hard to see. There we go. Is that a cabin? I got to trim it off a little bit more. You know, I think I'm seeing something. I'm seeing something. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And, oh my gosh, my wife just came in for a clinker. Ooh, now the painting's gonna get good. What did I do? What did I do? What am I doing? Oh. A little bit of blue, a little bit of brown. Oh, there's my color. Let's go. You did it. You did it. Just like we did the 2-inch brush, I can mash it on up in there just like we did with the 2-inch brush. Look at that. I've got time. I've got time. Before I get too much further though, I gotta change up the color a little bit. We're going a little bit darker now, so I need a little bit of the sap green. Well, thank you, wife to and you know what I'm saying. I appreciate that. She is a wonderful, wonderful wife. Wonderful wife. Before I get too much further, we gotta decide what I'm doing here. I think we're gonna need a little bit more smashy grass. Ooh, that's just paint. I'm gonna have to check my head because I tend to touch my face too much. End up with white. No, oh look at that! I have paint on my forehead. Guess I can't show my face now. Don't want you all laughing at me, calling me goofy. Definitely have jumped ahead and gone my own way here. Is it bad? Oh, yeah, got some on the cheek. All right. Enough commenting from Das Reddit. A little bit of yellow. Let's get in there. Let's get some nice bright green. I really want to get some bright green in here. And before I can do that, let me see if I can't get a little bit taller tree there. Little tree. They're great, but now they're stomping right above me. Stomping right above me. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's some greens and yellows working in there. Very free today, very free. So very free. We gotta give this guy a little path to the water here. And let's see, we'll take a tiny bit of the Van Dyke brown, maybe just some of the white. Get some of that. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Whoop. There we go. A little bit of white in there too, why not? If you don't like it, just sweep across and watch it disappear. There we go. Let's go ahead and, oh, let's put in something there. Right on over the path a little bit. And one of the tricks is you put a little bit over the path on this side. Sort of breaks it up, sits that path down. How much time do I got? Should I continue? I've got more tricks up my sleeve. Birds. Birds ain't a bad idea. 34 minutes, my goodness. Let's see. I'm going to do something here. What the heck? This one's from my good buddy Bram. Testing his bravery all over the place. You got that right. Let us get a tiny bit more color. Oh, don't say the magic word, Gina Flower just said the magic word. Little bit of dark sienna, little bit, just a bare hint of the bright red, but let's go with more white than anything. Just lightly touching, let that tree pull off the color. Ooh, I even went a little bit outside the lines. There you go. Custom special, limited edition, outside the line painting. Get it while it's hot. Little bit of dark sienna. Let's just put in a few little shadow, darker areas over on the left. There we go. Kind of matches the cabin in an odd way, but there you go. So as I said, she said the magic word. She said monster. This is a painting I did, a while ago. Wasn't super thrilled with it, so I give it to my daughter, and she likes to paint monsters onto the dry painting. So there you go, purple cabin monster. Take a little bit of paint thinner now. I'm going to thin down that brown. Thin it down. This time, let's get crazy here. First, let me finish up. There we go. Just need to touch that spot up. Now, we're doing little branches here. These branches may have leaves on them. I don't know. I haven't decided. You guys get to, I guess you guys get to help me with that. What I'm working on now is just getting a lot of branches out there, and as I come down the trunk, I just try to make them a little bit more pronounced, a little bit wider. Extra little branches on there. They come out a little bit just because, you know, as you go out there hanging out in the woods, you'll notice that there's more wider trees at the bottom and skinnier branches as you go out. Up, I should say. A little bit of leaves, no leaves. We got some conflict here. A UFO in the distance. He's behind the cloud, I think. Oh, we're gonna add a little bit of little furry things coming out here. Little short little spikes, broken off branches. You never know what this tree's been through. You can even put some of those little details in the evergreens here. Couple little guys coming off here. This is a fairly busy painting already. I got the distance I like. I think having the leaves might be a little too much. I think I almost fell for my own issue. Something I like to tell my students is don't make them too short and squat. Let these branches grow. Let them grow out there. Maybe you got a little sticks here, back there. I think that's about what we need.